Hey y'all, it's Libby. Welcome back to Today's the Future. Today I want to talk about something that my good friend Sally Lewis shares in her book. Her book is called Figuring Out Your Future: A Guide to Life Beyond the School Gates. And it serves a similar purpose to my book, providing some guidance and tools that young people were not getting elsewhere. And I wanted to share this today because I had a really incredible aha moment while reading her book recently while I was on a flight back from Thailand. And there's an exercise in her book called the priority detector. And this exercise really came at the right time for me. It really helped me realign. Because if you know me, if you know my content in my book, in my TED Talk, I talk about my life philosophy, my life goal is to live in alignment, which gives me full control over whether or not my life is successful. Because if I'm living in alignment, which means I'm aligning my core values and priorities with my daily actions and thoughts, I'm winning. And my head can hit the pillow and I'm at peace. If I'm doing that to the best of my ability, there is truly nothing else to long for. And it allows me to leave the victim stance. It allows me to gauge the success in my life in a way that is fulfilling and peaceful and joyful. But when I say that, when I talk about living in alignment, when I say to you, align your core values and priorities with your daily actions. Okay, that's cute. How? And I talk about that a bit in my book, but I love this exercise that she shares because it's so tangible. Because values is one thing. Okay, so I value honesty. Great. Priorities, I think, really hits the nail on the head. Aligning your priorities with your actions, because what you prioritize is very natural. You very naturally prioritize certain things. And this is such a good way to help you understand what you as a human naturally want to prioritize. So I'm going to read some of this for you. The priority detector, she says, I'm going to read from the book. I suggest doing this exercise at least twice initially until you are clear on your top 3 highest priorities. Then come back to it as often as you need. There are no right or wrong answers here, only what is true to you. So she's very clear to not write down what you think you should write down, but what you actually truly feel. Even if it's, even if it's a little shameful that you feel like you have those answers, be very real with yourself. Until she continues to say, don't overthink the answers, but do think outside the box. You may have to go looking deeper than you first thought you would. Complete this quiz with honesty rather than writing what you think you should write. This is not meant to be a wish list or what you want in the future. It is a snapshot of your life right now. The following exercises build upon. So this is going to allow you, this might not show you what you want to prioritize, because maybe you're not prioritizing what you would like to, what might be more aligned for you. This would tell you what you are and help give you a reflection on how you might want to tweak what you prioritize, because this is like, whatever. Your time is your most valuable currency, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So here is the exercise. I'm going to read you the questions. You can pause this. You can get a piece of paper. This is so good. Step 1. She says, write 3 answers for each question below. Look carefully into each area of your life, and you will notice some repetitions as you answer the questions. This is fine. So question number 1, time. Write 3 answers for this. Time. What do you currently always have time for? Find time for or make time for. After the basic essential survival activities, sleeping, personal hygiene, etc., what activities or tasks do you spend the most time doing on a daily basis? Given that you may still be at school, try to be more specific about what you do most at school by listing the subjects or activities you spend the most time on. What are there certain classes that you're more willing to put more effort towards? Are there certain areas in your career or your job that you naturally spend more time on because maybe that's an area of your job that you kind of like? So think about that. Write 3 answers. I'm going to go through these questions kind of fast, but you just pause the episode. Question number 2, learning. What do you love to learn about most through either social media, reading, listening, watching, or doing? What stimulates your mind most, and what do you gravitate towards knowing and understanding more about? Write 3 for that. Question number 3 is energy focused. Where do you expend your greatest amount of energy? Think about what feels most effortless and easy for you to do. What do you gravitate towards doing without the need for external motivation or to be reminded of? Write 3 things down for that. Question number 4, order and discipline. Where do you have the greatest order and organization in your life currently? Not what you would like, but where do you have the greatest organization currently? Look carefully. Think about where things can be easily found or are always at your fingertips. Where are you most focused and reliable right now? It can be anything at all. It may be your calendar if you're organized with your time. It might be your wardrobe, your desk, your car, your laptop, your notes app, your Spotify playlists. It may be returning messages from friends, your email inbox, but where do you have the greatest order and organization in your life currently? And write 3 down for that. Question number 5, space. What are the 3 things you always love to have with you, surround yourself with, or the things that make you feel secure, comfortable, or inspired? What does each one represent for you? An example, if your phone is one of the items you think about, think about what you use it for the most. It might be FaceTiming or going through TikTok. If you really love taking pictures, if you're a big music person, if you use it the most to listen to music or listen to podcasts. But write 3 things down for that. What are the 3 things you always love to have with you, surround yourself with, or the things that make you feel secure, comfortable, or inspired? What does each one represent for you? So that's question 5. Number 6, internal voice. What do you spend the most time daydreaming or thinking about or internally dialoguing about? What is your internal chatter about naturally? And write 3 down for that. Number 7, projected voice. What do you talk about the most during the day? On the phone, with friends, just socially? Is there something you naturally enjoy gearing a conversation towards? What is your favorite subject to gravitate to, steer conversation towards, or discuss? And what makes you feel most alive when you're talking about it? And write 3 down for that. There's 10 total. Number 8 is achievement. What goals are you currently working on that show some evidence of being achieved? Where do you feel a sense of achievement in your life? And write 3 down. Number 9, money. What do you always seem to find the money for, even if you borrow or use money from others? What do you spend your earnings or savings on? Number 10, satisfaction. What is it that you have done on the days you go to bed fulfilled, pleasantly tired, ready to sleep well, and feeling the most grateful? What is it that you did that day? And write 3 down for that. So you might need to go back, you might want to go back, pause more, think. Answering those 10 questions, might take you 30 minutes to an hour. And then you're going to move to step 2, which is once you have 3 answers for each, take some colored pens or highlighters and circle each similar or repeating answer. This will give you a number out of 30 for each answer. Then tally up the answers in order of the most repeating answers. So you would have given a total of 30 responses, 3 responses for each question, so a total of 30. Tally up your answers in the order of the most repeating, and your top 3 scores will reveal your highest priorities at this current time. And if you want, you can repeat the exercise a second time to really clarify your answers. And once your top 3 priorities are clear, and this is what she says, you will have a benchmark on which future decisions can be made. Having the reference point of your top 3 will bring you certainty. When faced with any decision you are unsure of, simply ask yourself the following questions to find internal certainty. Will this help me get, have, or do what is highest priority to me? And does this align with my top 3 priorities? Such a good exercise. So important to understand these things and do your best to complete properly. And that's the end of the exercise. That's a priority detector. And it's such a good starting point of learning how to live in alignment and live in that essence of peace. And if you felt confused at any moment in time, as I've been describing, Sally has a website. If you go to sallylewis.com/connection, she has a free video on the priority detector that you can get more information on. But that is such a transformational exercise. And revisiting what you prioritize, because priorities change over time and we change and it fluctuates, especially in moments if you're feeling confused or stuck. That's a great time to do the priority detector exercise, and doing it in a very honest and willingness to be flexible way will really allow you to live more in alignment and bring the most meaning into your life that you desire. So I hope you enjoyed this practice. I love it. It really helped me out in a moment that I needed it to self-reflect, because I was making some really big decisions recently, particularly with my career, and reflecting on what I prioritize and whether or not these decisions were in alignment with my top 3 priorities. And since we're here, I'll tell you mine. The ones that came up for me were business, creating, and relationships/connection. My, business has always been a big part of my life. Creating whatever I feel so inclined to create. It's often videos. I love videos, but I do a lot of other stuff too. Poetry, putting on fun creative events for my friends, just creating whatever my heart kind of pulls me to do. That could also be, I love stand-up comedy. I write a lot of comedy sets in my notes app. I'm actually starting stand-up comedy classes soon because I was like, that could be fun. We'll try it out. I'm in LA. They got an abundance of those. But yeah, creating, and then relationships. My friends, my family, connections, and having real, deeply fulfilling relationships is also a part of those top 3 priorities. And so if something doesn't align and serve either business, creating, or relationships, for me, that would be something to explore. Is this something that is allowing me to get closer to building a better business, create something that is deeply fulfilling, or build a relationship that is deeply fulfilling? And if it isn't, maybe explore not doing that thing. So those were my top 3 priorities. It does not matter what yours are. We're all in different stages, different interests. There is no right or wrong answer, like Sally said. And I'm not sure if this will come out before or after, but I am recording a podcast with Sally as well. So go listen to that. If it is not out yet, subscribe and listen when it comes out, because she's a powerhouse and she's such a cool person, cool mom, done incredible things. Well, she's not my mom. You get it, whatever. She is a mom to 20-somethings, and she's awesome. And she's been a great mentor in my space as well. So appreciate her. I hope you appreciated the self-awareness that hopefully this exercise provided for you. And we'll talk soon.